Good afternoon, Mr. Hernandez. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for being here. I know you're working. Can you tell the court how you know Matthew Castro?
He worked for me about 2 years. He worked for me about 2 years, 2015, 2017.
And what does he do for you?
He started as a helper at the shop, and then he moved up to a welder's helper.
And what does that exactly do? What were his tasks?
He helps a welder with anything that we're doing, giving him grinders, connecting up welds, setting stuff straight for him as the welder's going.
And we spoke during the...
Okay, pause. Did you catch that? The defense is setting up a major redemption arc here. A boss who wants to rehire a former employee with a criminal record. That's rare, and it's definitely going to weigh in on the judge's mind.
And I'm sure you know, but when I talked to Mr. Castro and asked him if he was ready to go back to work, he just lit up. Can you tell the court what kind of worker he is?
He was on point in time, always ready to go. He always helped us out. And we actually, when he left, it was hard to replace him. So I really would need him back.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Pass witness, Judge.
All right, State.
Hi, Mr. Hernandez. My name is Hank Wilkins. I'm one of the prosecutors here. If I ask anything that you don't understand, just let me know and I can try and rephrase it, okay?
Yes.
So, can you give us the years that Mr. Castro, when did he work for you?
What years?
Yes, sir.
It was between 2015 and 2017.
And why did he stop working for you in 2017?
He started having problems at home, and I told him I couldn't. I needed somebody who I could, who could be more. I didn't want him dealing with phone calls and all that because we're always working, always busy, and I needed full attention at work because it's very dangerous, some of the stuff that we do, and I needed him to be on more focus.
This is crucial. The witness is stressing how dangerous the job is. High-powered tools. Constant focus required. In legal terms, this underscores risk to public safety, which might conflict with arguments for leniency.
Not too much. I haven't heard too much about it. I just know that he was waiting to come back to work if it was possible, and I told him I could use him.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Just briefly, Judge.
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez, you said problems at home, it was affecting the work, and you mentioned phone calls. Was that his wife calling the work, or what was that?
Yes, his wife kept on bothering him, and with us, it's very dangerous. Some of the stuff that we working with the tools are high-power stuff, and you got to be paying attention the whole time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez.
All right, any other questions of this witness?
No further questions.
All right, is the witness excused?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much for showing up, Mr. Hernandez.
No problem. Thank you.
Any other witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense calls Laura Rivera.
All right. All right, can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Laura Rivera.
Defense.
Ms. Rivera, can you tell the court what your relationship with Matthew is?
His mother.
And can you tell the court, growing up, what kind of child was he?
Real good. My mom and dad helped me raise him. He always followed my dad and my uncles around, barbecue, fishing. We did everything. He would always help out, like when they were doing mechanic stuff in the vehicles. He would help out. He always wanted to help out.
And
They called him handyman.
handyman?
He was little and they called him a little man. Yeah.
And how is he in school?
He was really good. He wasn't gifted and talented. I know you hadn't heard that. What is it called today?
That's like AP?
Yeah, it's really advanced in his education. Mm-hmm.
And then after high school, can you tell the court what was going on with Matthew?
Well, during school, his older brother, my other son, had been shot in a drive-by.
Ho, that's a heavy turn. The family trauma here is real. And now we're seeing how that early chaos may have contributed to a downward spiral. Still, does that justify the crimes committed later? That's the tension the court is navigating.
So he started messing up a little when I tried to, get him back. He started doing good. I took him to counseling, and started taking classes. He had gotten through juvenile. But he's doing good. He was doing good. And then he got married and I saw him changing. It's like, it took a big toll on him. It was really, 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 really toxic, like really bad.
And you say changing, what do you mean?
Changing, like he wasn't himself anymore. He wasn't outgoing anymore. I would call him and he wouldn't answer. And he was a type that was always, he would call me or he would visit us. And at first she would come with her, but once she got her kids back, everything started changing. I think she started getting stressed out with that she had her 4 kids back and started taking it on him.
And how was Matthew with the children?
Really good. They love him. As a matter of fact, after the apparent assault that he did, she said she sent them the documents that she wanted him to be their father legally.
To legally adopt them?
Yes,
Okay.
but he had a good relationship with them.
And then you've mentioned your family. What kind of support system does Matthew have at home?
Oh, really good. He has his little sister that really looks up to him. Me and my husband.
And how does he help his sister?
Oh, with homework. Yes. Anytime she would get stuck, he would help her. He's really smart.
And then who is Elvia Saucedo?
My mom.
Okay. That's his grandma.
Mhm.
And then who is
She helped me raise him.
Mr. and Mrs. Joe Gonzalez?
Our neighbors.
Okay. And did you get them to create affidavits for Matthew?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor,
Just a quick little.
at this time, defense offers defense 1 and defense 2.
No objection.
Okay. Any other questions?
Just briefly. And since Matthew's been home after he got out on bond, what changes have you seen in him?
Outgoing again, helping out, loves to eat, watch movies together. He's just outgoing again. He's himself again.
Back to his old self?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
can you tell the court why Matthew would be a good candidate for probation?
I feel like he's ready to move forward from his marriage and just have a life, normal life, not arguing and fighting. And he doesn't have any kids or anything, so he still has a chance to work and just be a better person.
And he would live with you?
With me, yes. And then we are going to be moving to a new home soon too, so we're going to get out of the area. Yes,
Thank you.
I need him.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State.
Hi, Mr. Rivera. My name is Hank Wilkins. I'm one of the prosecutors here. So you've known Mr. Castro his whole life?
Of course.
Okay. So you were in contact with him when he got sentenced in 2016 to possession of less than a gram, right? He got probation in that case?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And he wasn't successful on that, was he?
No, he was,
And so he got sentenced at that point to 6 months, right?
yes.
And you were in contact with him in 2017 when he got sentenced on burglary of a vehicle, third, right? He got 10 months there, right? Okay. And you were in contact with him back in 2014 when he got sentenced on burglary of a vehicle, 4 months and 6 days, right?
Yes.
And back in 2015, you were in contact with him when he got a year probation on burglary of a vehicle, second or more, right?
Yes.
Do you know if he was successful on that probation? No, it's not.
Sorry, I can't remember. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Step back.
I'm too far.
So he wasn't successful on that, right? Or you don't remember? Okay. But would you be?
Okay, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
I'll stand over here so you can. So, would it be surprising to you to know that he wasn't successful on that probation?
No, because he was younger.
Okay.
He was younger.
So he got 4 months. You got a 4 month sentence on that. And you were in contact with him in June of 2022 when he got an obstructing a highway intoxication.
Well, yes and no, because he's married, so he hasn't lived with me for a couple of years. 8
Okay.
years.
He got 12 months there, right? He got 12 months probation there. Or he got deferred.
I know he got probation, yes.
Okay. So can you tell the court what's going to be different about this time?
This time, I think he's older. He has a better head on his shoulders now. He was incarcerated for 5 months this time, and I feel like he learned a lot. My mom had a heart attack like 2 years ago. And then
Sorry, just 1 second. Excuse me. There's no talking in the box to each other. Separate. All right, we're back on the record. You can continue.
So my mom had a heart attack about 2 years ago. She had major surgery a couple of months ago, and he's scared. He doesn't want something to happen to her, and he's not there. helped me raise him. So she's like a mom to him. I feel like that's going to help him also not want to be incarcerated.
Here's a classic probation pitch: fear, family, and reform. But if you've been counting, this isn't his first promise to change. So the judge has to ask, is this genuine growth or courtroom performance?
Judge decide. He says he doesn't have substance abuse issues in this. Do you agree with that?
I agree.
I pass the witness, Judge.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next witness.
Your Honor, no more witnesses, but if you would allow, the defendant would like to address the court.
All right. I mean, he can address the court as a witness.
Yeah.
All right. You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Matthew Castro.
All right. Defense, any questions or no?
No, Your Honor.
State, any questions?
Sure, yeah. So Matthew, my name is Hank Wilkins. I'm one of the prosecutors here. We've seen each other before, but I've never introduced myself. So if I ask anything that's confusing or you're not quite sure what I'm asking you, just let me know and I can rephrase it, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you were here when I was talking to him a moment ago. And I went through some of the things that you've been in court for before, right?
Yes, sir.
And it looks like you've gotten opportunities on deferred adjudication, right?
Sure.
You've gotten opportunities on probation, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're not always successful in that. Is that right?
I was
Do what? I'm sorry.
I wasn't successful.
You were not before.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you tell the court why you think this time is going to be different?
I believe that during that time, I was younger. I was going through it because of my marriage. There's no excuse for my actions, but just being in the state of mind that I was, I felt betrayed. I felt worthless. And I guess I wasn't thinking straight. I was younger. I was less mature. And at the time, prison wasn't like on the line, you know? So I was really just being a knockoff. But at this time, now that I know I'm facing prison, I had nothing but time to think while I was in jail. And I was thinking about my grandma, my mom, my sisters, everybody. This time will be different because it's my last chance. I'm facing prison right now, and I don't want to go. Honestly, in my heart, I know I'm not a bad person. I don't wake up every day thinking, who am I going to rob or kill or shoot today? I'm not somebody that's dangerous in the community. And my whole neighborhood loves me. They're all older people, and since I did, I've always helped them. And I really believe it. But if you give me one more chance, I'll succeed. And if I don't, I'm not going to run. I'll turn myself in, and y'all could do what y'all will with me.
So you said you're not a danger to the community, but do you think that some of these charges that you're charged with might make people have the idea that you're a danger to the community?
Maybe in some light, yes.
So you're a felon, and one of these charges is felon in possession of a firearm. That sounds dangerous, right?
Yes, sir.
And a couple of these are burglaries. That sounds dangerous, right?
Sure.
What year did you get married?
In 2019, March 15th.
Okay. So I know that there was some testimony that some of this might be tied, some of your criminal actions might be tied to your marriage, but
But I was with her way before that.
way before that, okay. Because if you got married in 2019, but some of these charges are from before that, like how long were you all together?
Plus 7, 8 years.
And are you taking responsibility for your actions, or are you blaming your ex?
No, I'm taking responsibility. Like I said, I'm not trying to justify my actions, but at the current state of mind that I was compared to now, I feel like I'll be a lot more successful because now there's no more. That's it. Like I'm saying, now I'm facing prison, and I don't want that. I don't want to go and something happens to my grandma. Like I said, sir, if you give me one more chance, please, and if I mess up, which I know I won't, I feel real confident this time. Y'all could give me the max if y'all want. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm gonna do good. I have a job lined up. And my plan is to pay if I can pay restitution to the victims of my crimes, I am. I'll do whatever needs to be done to show that I'll be successful at this, and to show that I have a heart and that I'm not just somebody that wakes up every day thinking, how am I gonna f up the world? You know what I mean?
So did Mr. Lyles go over this with you? This is the pre-sentencing. They do a report for the judge to help her make a decision. Did he talk to you about this at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that was in here was you don't think you have a substance abuse problem. Is that still something to think that you believe that's still?
Yeah, I'm not, this wasn't all because of judge, it was because of what I was going through.
I pass the witness, Judge. Thank you.
Just briefly, Matthew, is there anything else you want to say to the judge or to the victim?
To victims, I'm sorry for what I've done. And if I could meet you in person and tell you sorry in person, I will, and I'll pay the restitution. I'll show you that I was immature before. I was letting a situation get the best of me. And now that I'm facing the prison, that's enough. I'm not gonna mess up no more. I'm not. It's just like there's no more slaps on the hand, basically. And I had to be there with my grandma too. I just talked to her the other day. She's already, you know, she already had the heart attack, and I don't want to be incarcerated. That's my second month. You know, and I'll do whatever the court needs me to do, what they want me to do, community, everything. I'll do it to show that I'll be successful. And Your Honor, if I fail to do so, which I'm confident that I will not fail, I'll come back, surrender myself, and face you again, and you can do what you will with me.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, any other questions?
No questions, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you commit this crime?
Why did I commit this crime?
Mhm.
At the time, I was going through it with my wife. He kept all my belongings, left me with literally nothing, and I was just,
So why didn't you go to her house?
excuse me.
I said, did you go to her house and take your stuff back?
No, she don't get to me.
All right, so instead you went to a stranger's house that you don't know, and you went in to take their stuff.
It was a RV, man.
All right, so, and it's a stranger's RV,
Yes, ma'am.
which what we were taught in law school, anything really can be a habitation, right? If you're living in it, a car can be a habitation.
Yes, sir.
So an RV is a habitation. So why are you taking their stuff? Because your girlfriend took your stuff and wouldn't return it.
I was just thinking of I needed some.
Hold on, this is a turning point. He admits to breaking into a stranger's RV, not by mistake, but choice. This is where the judge draws a hard line between mistake and willful crime. Pay close. Attention, it's coming.
Yes. So why do you call your grandmother?
I don't want to put her through the stress as well.
All right, so you decided to put a stranger through this stress of having their items stolen.
Yes, man, it was a horrible mistake, and like I
Nope. You made choices, not mistakes. You know what a mistake is?
something by accident.
No. Let me just tell you. It's raining outside. Here's the example, Diana. Weather forecast. I don't think anybody really anticipated it was going to rain today. But let's say you know it's going to rain today. Your mom tells you, your grandmother tells you, and so you come to court with an umbrella because you know it's going to rain today. People are coming in wet. You have your umbrella. You go outside and you're like, good thing my parent called me to say it was going to rain because I'm prepared. Now, let's say you don't know it's going to rain. You come to court and you see people coming in wet and you say, shucks, I don't have my umbrella. There's somebody sitting next to you who has an umbrella and you take it. That's a choice. Now, if you know it's raining and you bring your umbrella and you have a black umbrella and the person sitting next to you also has a black umbrella and you leave and you take an umbrella, and when you go outside and it's raining and you open up the umbrella and you realize this is not my black umbrella because I have initials on mine and it's not here, that's a mistake. So you going into that person's RV and taking their items, those were choices you made. That's not a mistake. You didn't mistakenly think, oh, this RV is the same color as mine. I'm a little bit intoxicated right now. And I know I always leave the door open and this RV's door is open. Let me go in there. You knew that wasn't your RV. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So you made a choice. So I'm trying to figure out, why did you choose to break into somebody's RV and take their items? And this whole thing about I'm going through things with my wife, that's not going to cut it. Because everybody here has had a bad problem, I'm sure, where they've gone through a bad relationship. That doesn't mean they go out and commit crimes and then want to pass because I was in a bad relationship. So why did you go and take their items?
Sure, I needed some money.
Money for what?
Close.
Well, you could have called your mom and your grandmother and asked for clothes.
I
You telling me your mom wouldn't have given you clothing?
still would have if I would have told her. The
Okay.
situation. Yes, ma'am.
So I still don't understand. So why are you breaking into somebody's RV?
Check their belongings to sell to get money
Money for what?
for the clothes and anything I needed that day.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
And I read in the PSI report, he said,
There it is. Not just remorse, but overconfidence. I didn't think I'd get caught is not what a judge wants to hear. It undercuts everything he just said about being reformed. And it might have just sealed his fate.
and this occurred. Let me pull up the date. What's the offense date on this?
March 8th, 2023.
All right. So anything else from either side?
Nothing from defense, Judge.
Nothing further.
All right. I'm not going to grant his application. I'm going to find him guilty. Does anyone wish to speak to the cap?
Yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, and I appreciate the court's patience. Any delay in this case has been absolutely my fault and not Mr. Castro's.
Oh, I don't hold delays against anyone.
I'm not just saying, Judge. So Mr. Castro, he actually pled on the first day that he received an offer. Since the time I met him, he's taken responsibility for this. I know he's made bad decisions before and he has a history, but he wants to change his life. He has a welding job set up and he's ready to get back to where he can contribute to society. And if this means that he has to do some time, he's willing to accept that. We would ask just for the 2 years, because whenever he does get out, Judge, I know he's going to be able to go get a job and be a contributing citizen. He has removed him. I can attest he's removed himself from a bad situation. You heard Mr. Vera testify how he's changed. I could even see that. I've never seen a client, when I mentioned working, when he was getting out on bond, how them light up and how excited they were. He's the only client I've ever seen that happen with. So Judge, we just ask that you give the minimum 2 years, let him do his time and be able to get out and contribute to society.
All right. And in the PSI report, I see that restitution for Mr. McDermott, DERMAIN, that was never given. The only restitution amount I see is for Richard Pacheco. And that's for the expense of the tow truck and fixing his truck. Is there going to be any objection
Nothing from defense, Judge.
to the $800?
Your Honor, I think we tried to reach out to Mr. McDermott and haven't been able to get a response as to about restitution, Judge.
All right. And state with regards to sentence?
Judge, it's a cap of 6 years is what we agreed to. We're asking for the 6 years. As I talked about with some of the witnesses, these are inherently scary crimes. I don't know if there's a better way to put that, but breaking into where somebody lives, that's a scary thing. The reason that we have laws against felons walking around with handguns is because it's a scary thing. It's inherently a dangerous crime, Judge. These are not victimless crimes that the defendant's accused of. So we are asking for 6 years, Judge. And these are, like the court talked about with the defendant, these are not mistakes. These are choices the defendant made. So that we're asking for the 6 years, Judge.
All right. As previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. I'll take in consideration 2023 CR 8110. There's to be restitution of $800 to Richard Pacheco. Court is going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison and give you credit for any time served.
And Judge, we would ask the court if Mr. Castro could have some time to get his affairs in order and then turn himself in. He's been on bond and hasn't had any issues.
No. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Castro, I want to let you know I did review everything and take in consideration your employment and that you're saying that you've changed. When you go to prison, do not become institutionalized. At the prison, you can still pick up different trades. You can actually get a college degree at the prison and it's free. So,
Okay, let's pause here for a second. Did you catch that? The judge is basically offering a blueprint for redemption, a free education, a skilled trade, and even a job waiting on the other side. It's tough love, but it's real. What do you think? Is this genuine motivation or just judicial routine? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Has asked me to let you know he wants to renew his request for a new attorney, so I told him I would let him address
I
it.
had put in a motion.
all right, let me ask you this. Is your counsel hired or appointed?
To appointed.
All right, are you going to hire an attorney?
I'm trying to.
Well, I mean,
I asked him. It's because every time I ask him to do something, he does the exact opposite. I asked him back in September to please get me my bond reinstated so I could bond out and pay for a lawyer, and he never did it.
all right, so let me explain something to you about the state of legal services, right?
Boom! Here comes the legal reality check. The judge is setting the record straight on courtroom dynamics and comparing lawyers to surgeons. That's not just sass. It's a mic drop. This isn't DIY Law 101. Folks, ever seen a heart surgeon take feedback mid-incision? Yeah, me neither.
In that conversation is a lot of education that they've had to get. And when you compare us to doctors who are doing surgery, you never see a patient going to their doctor if they need heart surgery and telling their doctor, you know what, I know this is the way you say you're going to do the surgery, but I want you to do the incision this way. You know why they don't do that? Because, hey, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how to do incisions. But for some reason, people who have attorneys think that they're an attorney and they want to file a bunch of motions, don't know what the motions mean, because you may file one motion, but there are other things that go with that motion. It's sort of like when people read the Bible and they say, oh, I know the Bible, and they don't realize what you've read in the first book, there is something that goes with that that's in the second book, and you have to combine all of that. So if your attorney hasn't filed a motion, it's probably because you don't need that motion filed. I used to always get, you haven't filed my discovery motions. Where are my discovery motions? And I'm like, state has to turn that over. What? I'm filing a motion and the state is going to say, oh yeah, we turned that over. So that's where we are. And where we are is you're indigent. This is the attorney that has been appointed to you. And what I can tell you about attorneys appointed to represent people, there are certain qualifications that they have to have in order to represent people on certain cases. This is a felon in possession of a firearm. What I can tell you, your attorney is qualified to handle this type of case. Otherwise, he would not be appointed to this case. So if you wanted another attorney, you need to retain another attorney, period. Court is not appointing you another attorney. This will be your attorney. If you speak to him, great. If you don't speak to him, you will probably end up in jury trial with an attorney you have not spoken to. It's completely up to you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And as a client, you have control over certain things, whether or not you want to go to a jury trial or not, whether or not you want to testify, whether or not you want to accept a plea. You are not in control of trial strategy. And trial strategy is similar to that doctor that wants to do a heart surgery and you're trying to tell them, well, this is the way you should do the heart surgery. That's similar to trial strategy. And you're not control over that because you don't have the degree and the experience to do it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right. So where are we?
Your Honor, we are back on a discovery issue. And just briefly to summarize, there was a video and audio from the Alamo Heights Police Department. Originally, we asked for it and it said it didn't exist. Eventually, we subpoenaed Alamo Heights in. They were not able to answer the court's simple questions as to
Yes.
when the video was destroyed, what is the policy? Are the videos 30 days, 60 days? I have anecdotal evidence that it's 6 months, but anyway, that's not on the record. So they gave us 4 names for Barcom. Barcom is a company, local company that is their IT company. As the point of contact who could answer all those questions. So I subpoenaed, but they couldn't tell us who there. So I subpoenaed everybody, and then they contacted me yesterday and said, I don't want to cause any disruptions. I just want somebody, can you tell me if there's somebody there who can answer these questions? There isn't. They just sent somebody today by I had made an agreement with them to release everybody. They sent their CEO. He's here to testify. He's not going to be able to answer the court's questions. What he told me was, and he's back there.
Well, let's bring him up.
Yes.
Let's find out who can answer these questions. There are specific questions. I remember this case that are needed to be answered. Do you know who can answer these questions? Who do we need here to answer these questions?
The people who set it up. It's a company by the name of Big State. They are the ones who installed the camera system. They would have configured how long each of the cameras would overwrite, kind of like a VHS video, right? There's only so much space,
Yes.
and how often each one of those would be overwritten.